This list of names and locations has a couple of problems with it. And you could imagine a real-life situation with more columns to the right, more about the contact information. If we want to sort this list by last name, we can't do this in the current form. If we want to sort it by state, we can't do that either, and we can't sort it by zip code. Essentially, we've got the same problem in two separate columns. What we really need to do here is to split the data into multiple columns. Now, you might want to put the data back together again. That's fine, but let's focus first on column B. Rather than retyping this, and you can imagine how tedious that could be with thousands of records, let's select the data, and on the Data tab, simply use Text to Columns. The key word here is delimited. There's a character that separates these, and it's pretty apparent that the comma is what terminates the name of the city. And of course, some cities have two names. Wheat Ridge, here we got Walnut Creek, San Francisco. And here and there you got three names, four names. Marina Del Rey, Mar Vista, maybe something like that. Step one, choose delimited. Next, comma is the key indicator here. This will take care of isolating the cities, but not the state and zip. So we'll essentially do this twice. And at this stage, simply click Finish. And you see what's happened here. Readjust the column width. And now we've got this data here, and we'll do this all over again, but this time the separator is a space. Text to Columns, delimited, next. You can leave the comma there, it doesn't hurt. Put in space. The preview down below is pretty much telling the story, except sometimes you do want to scroll up and down. You might find some odd things in there. We don't in this case. But, it looks like we will get an extra column. We can handle that. Simply Finish again. Probably delete column C or move the data over, either one. And we're in business here. And we've got this cleaned up. And now we can sort the data by state and within that by city, or sort it by zip. And the same idea, of course, in column A, but we would need an extra column. Now, the example here is fairly simple in that nobody has a middle initial. If we do have middle initials and middle names, or names like, John Henry Vanterhorst IV, we're going to need a lot more columns than this. So do give yourself plenty more columns if needed. In this case, we only need one extra one. Same idea real fast here. Click column A, Text to Columns, delimited, next. Space is the key separator here. Finish. There we are. Like that. Probably relabel these and we're okay. If you prefer to put these back together, that's a different issue, but real fast here, we can simply reconstruct these names in the following way. Equal, and simply pick this name, put in an ampersand, the and symbol. Following that last name, you probably would want, within double quotes, a comma and a space, and the first name. Look like this. Double click, copy it downward. If at the same time you wanted to adjust the upper lower case, just put the word proper in front of this and that'll make it look even better. Good enough. There we go. So you see how that's looking. And at some point, as always, one of the tips we've used frequently, if we want to keep this data and throw away the rest, we can use the right mouse button here. Take any edge, click and drag it, for example, up and down right on top of itself with the right mouse button. Copy here as values only. Move this heading over. Get rid of these columns. So some quick, easy ways to split data into columns so we can work with our data better. We can now sort this list by last name, by state, by city, by zip easily. And it reminds us of a general rule in database-like data. Make each column contain the minimum amount of information, and you usually are better off if you start with that idea in mind.